if you are in a state that could be at risk of this, perhaps consider getting a form of birth control that will stick with you, like IUD or something, just so, you know, you're protecting yourself.
Preventative measures.
Yeah.
Arielle and I usually trade on and off, but we're going to kind of like tag team.
Oh, yeah.
A little Roe v. Wade news.
Woo! Just kidding. Thumbs down.
It's scary.
It's pretty scary, and we want to bring it to everyone's attention just to get it on your radar.
Yeah.
So Roe v. Wade is being threatened once again, and this time it seems to be...
It's like legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like more legitimate than when Trump was president.
So you guys all probably know that Roe v. Wade is the constitutional law that says that we have a right to get an abortion, women, vagina havers. It basically says, like, if you have a baby you don't want to have, or you have a fetus or whatever clump of cells in your body,
you can get that thing out of you.
You can get rid of it.
Yeah.
So
your body, your choice.
Obviously, it is a huge deal for women and women's rights, in maintaining control of their autonomy and their ability to make decisions for themselves. There have been a lot of states. So for people who don't know, constitutional law is what governs us as a nation. Every state makes their own state laws, which is why different things can vary from one location to another.
Like marijuana laws.
Exactly. And in the past several years, we've seen a lot of states propose different regulations, different laws surrounding abortions. And a lot of them are incredibly restrictive. A lot of them do not pass. One of these proposed laws is the heartbeat bill, which would prevent women from getting pregnant or from getting abortions after 6 weeks, is the heartbeat bill. This is not what we're talking about today, but this is just to give an example of some of the extreme.
And most women don't know they're pregnant until past
after that.
6 weeks.
After that. And most of the time those are shot down and nothing's really made of them. But this bill that was originally proposed in Wisconsin?
Mississippi.
Similar vibes.
Yeah.
Not really.
I mean,
Mississippi.
But their proposed law, in the article it was like it was passed, but then someone overturned it.
Yeah.
But it was like a lie. Like he said this is bad only so that the Supreme Court could then.
So the way that these cases work is if it's passed, it becomes state law, and if it's shot down, it has the chance to go to the Supreme Court, which is what happened for this.
So the bill in Mississippi states that the bill in Mississippi proposes to restrict abortions after 15 weeks, except for in the case of the fetus harming the mother or if it has an extreme defect, and it does not account for incest or rape. So the law was shot down, and now it's being brought to the Supreme Court, which has a conservative majority, 6-3.
Yeah.
And
the Supreme Court, this law doesn't have a majority. The Supreme Court has a majority right now.
Right.
So 6 are conservative judges, only 3 are not.
Right.
Which means that as the court is right now, and this is why Trump's presidency was such a big deal, was because he was going to be replacing so many Supreme Court justices because we knew they were all going to die.
Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
There was like that blonde girl.
Amy, what's her face?
Oh, Kirk. Whatever. I don't care about her last name.
We probably won't see what happens to this for a very, very long time, but something to keep your eye on.
Yeah, the ETA for decision is June 2022, and the Supreme Court, which starts its next term in October, will begin reviewing and...
Yeah. So right now, it's illegal to ban abortions before 24 weeks, which is when the fetus becomes viable, which means that it would be able to exist outside of the uterus. And it basically says that you can't ban it before then because women have fully the right to get rid of it should they not want it for whatever reason. And this court case would challenge that. It would challenge whether or not states can make a law that says we can actually pass a heartbeat bill and we can make it illegal to ban abortions before 24 weeks. And those heartbeat bills, like we said, are really dangerous because most women don't know that they're pregnant.
Yeah.
And there's also I think there's a lot of misinformation surrounding abortions. This idea that their trimester abortions happen all the time. It's less than like 2%, and they only happen if the mother's like literally going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Most abortions take place before then. They take place because people are young and scared and don't want kids, and, you know, sometimes because of rape or incest, sometimes because it's non-viable, but most of the time it's just women exercising their right to say, I'm actually not ready to have a kid yet. I would like to have a career. I would like to be able to make decisions for me.
Yeah. And there's so many women who are like, you can still do everything you want to do even after you have a child, but pregnancy changes your body, and giving birth, like it literally coming out of your body, is not traumatic, but it's a change.
It is.
Well, depending on whether you wanted it or not, you know.
But these women don't want it.
If we're
and
talking
forcing someone to have a baby that they don't want to have is a trauma.
Yes, that is traumatic. And then say that they don't want the child anymore. Where do you think the child goes? It goes into the system, and then that kid is fucked because the system for children without homes is fucked.
No, it's terrible. They're very. We can get into it at a different time, but I think what's important to note is this is not going to overturn Roe v. Wade. It's not going to say you can't get abortions, but it's going to make it possible for states to make extreme laws restricting abortions.
Yeah. So if you are in a state that could be at risk of this, perhaps consider getting a form of birth control that will stick with you, like IUD or something, just so, you know, you're protecting yourself.
Preventative measures.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some fun stuff.